When you think of Marvel next-gen superhero games, I think most can agree that the standard set for how well a game's story and gameplay can be was placed by Insomniac Studios' Spider-Man 2018 game. These games brought back a refreshing sense of great game elements and talent behind a project that hadn't been taken to that height. And like the late great Uncle Ben would say, with great superhero games comes greater demand for superhero games. He was a pioneer. Since Spider-Man's release, we have already had and will have a handful of new Marvel games. While some are pretty lackluster, we have had some pretty decent hitters in the past few years. It goes without saying the best Marvel games are the ones with an emphasis on telling a good story and immersing you into its world. So that brings us to today's video. Recently, Electronic Arts released a statement regarding their partnership with Marvel, stating that they will be creating at least 3 games with the mega company. Electronic Arts goes on to say that the games will be their own original stories set in the Marvel universe, and the first game made will be the previously revealed Iron Man game. Now, on a surface level, this might sound like amazing news. I mean, who isn't taking 3 new next-gen Marvel games? There's so much possibility and so many characters that they can make use of this with the new hardware out today. But while this can be true, with a developer and publisher like Electronic Arts who hasn't had the best track record for games in the past decade or so, this can be somewhat concerning for the sake of these Marvel games. And today, I want to deep dive as to why that is. So let's talk about it. Now, back to what I previously mentioned about the most successful Marvel games, those being games like the new gen Spider-Man games and the Guardians of the Galaxy game that recently came out. It's almost inarguable that the key factor to their success is the fact that the game is centered around a good story and good gameplay mechanics. It's like seeing the Marvel Universe version of your favorite heroes get their own cinematic light. Only it's better because you get to play as them. A game that can get you immersed is a game that you will remember. So with that being said, let's take a look at Electronic Arts and what they stand for. Now, it's no secret about EA's morals and what they will do for the dollar bill. Hell, it's practically a taught principle you learn at a young age at this point. Kids these days are told not to talk to strangers and to watch out for the EA scams. Now, of course, money is essential for any business to stay afloat, but when you lock so much of your game behind a microtransaction, it is no doubt that long-time and new fans are going to look at your company in a certain way. I mean, look at what they did to the Skate series. The upcoming game will be free to play, which means that the game will most likely have microtransactions crazy just to make up for no retail price. And don't even get me started on what they're charging for the newest FIFA game, which is almost a direct copy of last year's. But I have to be fair, EA isn't always gouging at your pockets to make you spend money to enjoy a game. They have had their moments in story-based games. A game that I enjoyed from them was A Way Out, a 2018 co-op story game with 2 brothers trying to find freedom. And the game has no microtransactions at all outside of what you have to pay up front. Even being co-op, the story was great and the gameplay was fun. So with EA publishing games like this, it shows that they have the capability to make great story games when they aren't focusing on microtransactions. But the big question is, which route will they go for the next 3 upcoming Marvel games? So far, they've stated that the Iron Man game will be an original story based on the character and will even be led by Oliver Probst, a person who worked on the mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy game. So if I were to take a good guess on this upcoming Iron Man game, I feel it will do well and be a good story game. EA has seen the success of other story-based Marvel games and obviously want to replicate a version of their own. But as for the other 2 or more games, it's up in the air. I feel that if this game does as well as they want it to, then they'll probably make more story games to follow suit. But there's still no guarantee that they won't make a Marvel game with a focus on microtransactions, not even on this upcoming Iron Man game. So let's just hope that Electronic Arts puts its abundance of studios in its vault to use and create a great Iron Man game with the main focus on telling a good story. So what do you guys think about EA making the next few Marvel games? Leave a comment down below. As always, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.